Whoa, what is up, party people? Welcome back. Sorry I missed y'all Tuesday. I did not have any power in my house. And I've toned down the RGB in the background a little bit just to try and mitigate the power draw, which also probably means probably turn down the swing light a little bit more too. Man, right there's fine. Since then, I have missed the Destiny 2 reset on Tuesday, and I'll go into the catalog and cascade. That was the shit show that has happened in Texas since then, or since last Friday. Today is February 18th, 2021. This is a Thursday, and I missed the Destiny 2 reset, so I missed the launch of the brand new quest. So we'll see if we can get in. I'll take some pauses to kind of experience the cutscenes and stuff, but other than that, we'll just kind of see how it goes. I was able to jump into Iron Banner last week in a little bit and get myself a messenger. I'll pull up. I got two roles actually, which kind of show y'all. One with Moving Target, Desperado, Extended Mag, and Looted. Excuse me. I'm a little gassy right now too, but I mean, what else is new? Another one with Kill Clip, Moving Target, Armor Piercing. I've played with the currently equipped one, but not too much with the other, so. Well, I don't know. It seemed to do pretty well with Desperado, but I kind of wish I'd gotten a like Outlaw or Feeding Frenzy with a damage dealing perk. So, yeah, we'll kind of just go ahead and start this. A few things around. Cool. Go, of course, as always, with first logging into Destiny after reset is go pick up bounty. The bounty grind. Let's see. I know a couple of guys and a couple other import-export guys were on earlier, but it doesn't look like any of them now, so that's fine. So, hey, it's some unclaimed bounties apparently. I think when I ran trials, I was on my Warlock, so we'll just grab those off real quick. So yeah, so last weekend I was off work on Monday, thankfully, to President's Day being Monday. So kind of right after I got done with work on Friday, I went straight to HEB because I knew we were expected to have snow. And I'm in Austin, Texas, and I was born and raised here, so I've seen a lot of crazy weather over the years. But I went to our grocery store to stock up on reserves. I normally always go every other week on a Friday or every other Friday for grocery shopping. Honestly, also because Brett can't go because she's immunocompromised and there's still a pandemic going on. But all that aside, I go, and I'd been starting to go on Friday nights just because it was a little less crowded than on Saturday or Sundays when I had gone early on in the pandemic. But the place was just packed. I mean, the whole parking lot was just to the gills. Hardly any spaces. I had to circle for about 20-30 minutes just to find a spot. And then part of that I attributed to, okay, people are probably just also stocking up on groceries for the snowstorm, but also it's Valentine's Day. And yeah, people still will go grocery shopping on get their Valentine's Day supplies at the grocery store. I mean, at least with one of the grocery stores we go to, it's like they have a lot of specialty and novelty things for your significant other. So, did I get Brett anything there? No. I'd gotten her flowers, but it wasn't from there. I'd ordered them weeks in advance. What else? I did end up getting us like chocolate covered strawberries, but that was just kind of like an impulse buy, so it wasn't that big of a thing. But But I mean, the lines, like, were going all the way down the aisle to check out. And it's like, I already knew that was bad. And then they had the self-checkout line, which was a little bit shorter, but it started snaking out around all the aisles, and then kind of like back along, like the bakery section, or like towards the produce section. So it was a nightmare. Decided to go slightly closer look. Or a bowl. That's fine. So, I mean, I spend about an hour there. I come home, I unload everything. I just kind of want to like space out, not really think about too much. So, I think I played a little bit of Destiny 2. It was really just trying to round out all my characters and finish up all the powerful pinnacle sources. So I get done with that. Then Saturday kind of rolls around, sleep in, do some chores, hang out around the house, more Destiny grind, whatever. The grind fest that is Destiny 2. And then Sunday, kind of just, yeah, I do a little bit of trials, but I mean, I was kind of waiting to hear from clanmates to see if they wanted help, or if they want to do it. I did get in some pickup groups for some other things, so that was fine. And I didn't get really any luck on Shadow Price. I'm hoping I get some luck. So I did end up doing a lot of Gambit. I did end up getting. Oh, I don't have. Draw and. Yeah, I'll play with that. See how I like it or not. I don't have any, but apparently my inventory is a mess. That over. Over. I still haven't gotten the Pursuit arc grenade launcher just yet, so sad times that. Fusion. My form. Do that. So I did get a bottom dollar with Light Shot and Lunching. I did make an interesting discovery, actually, shader wise. Gambit Emerald shader. Kind of see if selected treasure, the color palette thing changes. And I never really quite noticed this before, but there are like a lotus flower. All of the symbols you would see in like the in the forges are actually very fine detailed on the gun. You might not be able to make it out, but I think you can kind of see like some runic symbols, and then like a lotus flower right there. I never noticed that about the Bagrusian Knight, but this is actually the Gambit Emerald shader. So if you do like the shader, you know, the pulsing effect it has, don't bother equipping it. It's the same thing, and I imagine it's going to be like that for all the pursuit weapons for each of the 3 playlist activities in Destiny 2. But yeah, so Sunday just hung out with Brett. I think we watched some TV, kind of relaxed. I cooked us some dinner, and it was just a nice kind of quiet Valentine's Day. So and So that night, like we got a bunch of snow, and thankfully it was like I was off for President's Day the next day, so we like I wake up or like the middle of the night. I actually woke up because Sumo was like running around the house around like 3 a.m. and I'm a fairly light sleeper, so it kind of woke me up. So then, um, I kind of wake up and kind of notice that like there had been things in the news that was like, oh, be prepared for rolling blackouts due to the storm. Like there might be down power lines, kind of whatever. So, so we kind of knew that it's like, oh, power outages might be a thing, or that the energy or Austin Energy would shut off people's power for like 30 to 45 minutes at a time. And so we were kind of prepared for that. And they said it was to mitigate critical load on the infrastructure. Basically, it was either that or people have extended blackouts for long periods. So first, before we get into all that, pause this and check out this dialogue.
Get ready to move. The Cabal have invaded the Cosmodrome. As we speak, Val Marag leads a charge into a hive nest, seeking revenge for what Zibo Arat did to the Cabal's home system. If he succeeds, Keitel is certain to promote him to her war council, and more Cabal will flood into the Cosmodrome. We can't let that stand. Not in the territory that produces some of our best guardians. Fortunately, our enemies are distracted. Cut through the chaos and take out Mirage. If we don't crush this now, we could lose an entire generation of new lights.
I forget who it was. Either like Lord Saladin, that character, or Lord Shax, who's kind of Grandmaster. Is voiced by the guy who played Morgan in The Walking Dead. So I'm pretty sure it's Shax, not um with energy, picking up an element well with us type crane. Okay, cool. That could be fun for the Arc Warlock build. Picking up an elemental bell that matches your subclass grants you temporary and increase to your intellect, improving recharge rate. Okay, cool. Hmm. Hmm. Cool. I feel that will do me. I do. I know that does gate me pretty hard, but practice gauntlets and code. Cool. Check the roll on Duello. Lasting impression and quick draw. Frenzy. Draw. Blast. I like the one with blast radius. Push all the way up to max. I thought that was 6. whatever. Guess we won't be too concerned about our dress look. And we'll and go do battlegrounds. I do need to go. I am gonna try and go do that at some point during this stream. I do kind of want to scale up a little bit. It actually unlocks something to place a new. Anyway, get back to the music. So yeah, Monday. Wake up, it's snowing. Or I wake up at 3 a.m. Sumo's like scampering around and a bunch of different stuff. And kind of wake up and notice that, oh, our fan is off. So okay. Hopefully the background music. Yep. It's a horn? Yes. I don't know. Sure, why not? Coming along. I still need the little probe things, whatever. So. Anti-barrier, unstoppable, void. So wake up, kind of notice that, oh, like Sumo's kind of wandering around a lot. He's, and just kind of like, yeah, like, all right, that's weird. Like, you know, our fan's off. Oh, it's probably one of those rolling blackouts they were talking about. Whatever, no big deal. And then, you know, wake up, sleep in, wake up several hours later, kind of was like, oh, like fan is still off. Like, you know, nothing charged overnight. Like our phones didn't charge. Like can't turn on a light. Like it's just starting to get cold. I mean, it got down to 23 that night, something like that. But we wake up, there's snow everywhere. So I'm like a kid. I want to go outside and play in the snow. I don't really care. I kind of assume that, like, oh, like, it's just going to be out for a few hours. It's not a big deal. So it's like, which, it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. So.
Get me to a console. I'll take care of that.
So, I don't know. I built a snow dog. That was cool. And just kind of like hang out and do some other chores. And, oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, fuck. I bit off more than I could chew there. So. Let's see. Welcome. So, no big deal. Like, I'm just still kind of chilling out, waiting for our power to come back on. Gonna check in the news. Like, eventually, like, Brett and I kind of get a little frustrated, like, waiting. So we're just kind of like, what the hell? Like, Brett's phone starts to die out.
That last harvester exposed an active fuel cell. Maybe we can use it.
Attaboy.
Marky. Okay. Thing I scan? Cool. Yay. Okay. Let's get back to the actual strike. I remember this part in like one of the D1 strikes. Or it was an early D2 mission, actually. I'm glad they kind of reused this asset. So all day Monday, just kind of sitting around waiting still. No word on anything, really. And it's just like, alright, like that's kind of weird. Like, what happened to these rolling blackouts? Like, if we're gonna have our energy taken away, we should have it be given back to us. But no, like, that kind of didn't happen. And it didn't happen all day. And then, you know, the news comes out that's like, oh, this is ERCOT. And everyone's like, I learned a lot more about ERCOT than they ever wished to know. And basically, it's the Energy Reliability Council of Texas, which is basically like Texas has its own energy infrastructure. So instead of being on a national or like the Eastern Western group, like everywhere else in the country, Texas wants to do its own thing. So it's like, okay, whatever. But they were basically saying how, hey, due to the increased demand because of the snowstorm, everyone's energy demand went skyrocketed. So we, you know, intentionally throttled people to be able to provide enough energy. But then as we throttle them, the demand continued to increase. And there's also reports out that, oh, that they realized like, oh, it was actually the demand was actually, and supplying the energy wouldn't have been as profitable to them as to like certain energy providers, and it would have ultimately like cost energy providers thousands of dollars versus, or like hundreds of dollars to supply like the same amount of energy, because they're basically like choking the supply by throttling everybody or saying like, hey, we're gonna roll people back, or because like the demand increased so much. And also, like, the snowstorm did knock out a few things that supplied energy to certain towns and communities. So ultimately, I mean, this isn't a critique on ERCOT or Texas Energy or anything like that. This is just kind of my own individual experience about what the hell had happened in Texas. So kind of reading all this stuff in the news, how like, oh, like they stifled the supply, like they don't know when actually people can get stuff back on. Oh, like all the snow has made it virtually impossible to tell when they're actually going to be able to get out to certain areas and service stuff. Because part of the issue was like, oh, well, we're not sure, like, even though we cut off your energy, like to your house, we're not sure if your outage is as a result of what we cut off, or if it is also a result of like the weather and like a down branch or something like that. So yeah, we've kind of like just like hung tough. We've like, Brett and I just tried to hang tough like all day Monday. You know, our power went off. We looked it up online later. It's like through Austin Energy's like service portal. Because that will also at least tell you that, hey, even though your energy is down, or like you don't have energy, is that a result of them not providing service, or is that from um, you know, possibly an outage somewhere else. So, so at least that was semi-reliable. So there was that. And then, yeah, all day Monday, no energy. Kind of just let people know what's going on. Like, I just kind of assumed that, hey, the energy might still come on. We might get power again at some point Tuesday. Maybe even in the middle of the night. If that's the case, great. If not, no big deal. Like, I'll wake up at the same time I normally would for work, and I'll just let my boss know what's happening. Because also, it's like at that point, there's early reports going on that, 30, thousands of people are actually without power. So, like, I mean, which is also a little bit of a misleading claim, because it's not just like, it'd be like, 3 million people, 3 million customers are without power in Texas. Like, okay, like, that's a customer. Like, that's basically one person who pays your bills. It's not necessarily indicative of, like, how many people are ultimately affected, because you wouldn't consider a child a customer necessarily. So, I mean, Brett and I's household is like, oh, there's 2 adults and 2 dogs, so, like, but ultimately, like, there's one singular customer, and that's me, because I'm the one who pays our utility bills. So, like, for my sister, it's like, okay, like, my older sister, it's her husband, and 3 kids, so it's like, oh, but she's only considered one customer. It's not even necessarily a thing based on population. So it was very misleading, like, even how they try to categorize it. But even then, it's like the staggering number of, like, 3-4 million customers without power. It's like, hey, like, go ahead and multiply that by, like, 3. That's about 12 million Americans all without energy, like, in the middle of a snowstorm, like, without heat. And Texans are pretty resilient, I'll say. It's like, I think almost anybody could manage and figure something out, like, if they knew how long they had to endure for. It's like it's only gonna be for a day, 2 tops. Like, it's like, I know me and Brett could have been like, okay, like, we can hang tough without energy or without power for 2 days. Like, it's not a big deal. We'll get it back. Like, I can let my boss know. I can let my work know. Hey, I don't have power right now. I should be getting it back Tuesday night. Like, kind of whatever. So, but to kind of, like, just leave people hanging and not let them know what's going on, or give them any kind of estimate. And a lot of times they're like, oh, well, this is an evolving situation. We're trying to get crews back out on the road to, to fix down lines or get energy, back restored to people. It's like, okay, it's not as simple as just flipping a switch. I realize in some of these circumstances, you got to actually, like, go out, then cruise out, and have them either, like, de-ice stuff or get to certain plants, or that the plants themselves, like, were inaccessible due to, like, the power outages, which would be really awkward. But, I mean, all that stuff aside, it was like, you just couldn't really ever get it clear. And they're like, oh, we're not sure. Like, you should be. And the most, I think, Austinites at least got was, like, they just said, like, oh, you should be prepared to go without power today and possibly tomorrow. Like, they kind of would let you know, like, hey, it's bad now, but we're not quite sure when it's going to get better. Like, probably tomorrow. Like, just hang tough. And it was like, that only works for so many days. Like, beyond that, it's like, okay, like, that's not going to fly anymore. It's like, you kind of need to let people know when you're expecting or how much of a delay you're looking at. Like, give us your most liberal and your most conservative estimates. Like, give people a range even. Like, even that would be something. So, but it was like nothing like that even ever happened. And it was just like super disappointing and really frustrating.
Without Zahn, the Red Legion will be back to throwing rocks before too long. Great work.
You ever been hit with a rock? Don't joke about that.
Nope. There's an exotic. Oh, we got the tilt fuse. So, I mean, Brett and I hung tough for Monday. Tuesday, wake up, still no power, and it's starting to drop, like, drastically. Brett already has a hard time regulating her body temperature due to her immunocompromised issues and a bunch of medications she's on and another connective tissue disorder. So, kind of bearing in mind all those things, it's like, okay, well, like, she's freezing. I'm like burying her under blankets as fast as I can. You know, we don't have a fireplace in our house, which is one thing I was hoping for when we looked at this place, but we didn't. It ended up like it had a big yard and a lot of floor space, which is stuff I was a little bit more interested in. So. Next house we move into, though, yeah, you bet your ass. Like, we're gonna be looking for a fireplace. Learned our lesson with it. So Tuesday kind of rolls around, still no power. I text my boss early in the morning before I start work. I mean, the news of the outages are all over the news at this point. You know, in New York Times, like Washington Post, like you know, it's like, oh, like, you know, millions of Texas without power. You know, and if you're in another part of the country, I get it. Like, it sounds stupid. Like, I've lived in other parts of the country. I've lived where it snows. It can snow a lot. I have family an extended family who's all from Minnesota, so I deal with people in work who are also based in Canada, and it's like, hey, I get it. Like 6 inches of snow, not sound like a big deal. And the excuse a lot of people in Texas make was like, yeah, but like we're not really prepared for it, or we don't have the infrastructure. It's like that's part of it. Yes, like part of that is true. That because we experience it so seldomly, that we normally don't know how to react to it. But even then, it's like we've had issues in 2010 and 2012 and 13 where it's like it has snowed here, and it was such a big catastrophe, especially for the roads, that Austin started investing in de-icing equipment and things to treat the roads, even in the event of the emergency. Even if we didn't use any of it, or it just sat on a shelf and eventually expired in 3 years, like it was better to have it and just have it sit there. We could mobilize quickly and treat roads, like when an adverse event like that would occur. So it's like we have had snow and we have dealt with it in the past. So it's not to say like, oh, we were totally unprepared, like, and we never deal with this. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and make those same kinds of trite excuses, because the reality is like we have dealt with snow. We do kind of know roughly a little bit how to deal with it, but usually still, it's not uncommon for a place like this to just kind of shut down and just say like, listen, like it's really snowy, like the roads are bad, don't risk driving. Just like people in California who don't know how to drive when it rains, like, it's like that in Texas, where it's like we know how to kind of drive in the rain, but you don't really know how to drive in the, because it's something you experience so seldom. And also it's like it's just so much more dangerous, like, and also with all the stuff with the pandemic, oh, most people are working from home. There's no real
Far too common these days.
reason to like travel.
Our recovery crews can hardly keep up with them. This one, however, I want you to look into personally. Rahul brought it to my attention. He tells me the transmission has been exposed to darkness. Our enemy worms its way into everything it touches, even mudding our signals. What's more is the point of origin, near the reef, from a Guardian claiming to be aboard a ship belonging to the dethroned Emperor Callus. Keitel will no doubt respond to a signal from one of her father's ships. They have a complicated relationship. If there's a Guardian on board, exposed to darkness, I want to know why. Extract them safely, so we may have a word with them.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot of great things about this quest line, and been really looking forward to trying. I've tried to stay away from the spoilers, so I kind of am going in a little bit fresh. I've seen like weapon reviews about it, and kind of just stuff from the trailers, but I haven't watched anybody's like quest guides or anything like that, so I'm going in fairly fresh. So. Zavala scrims as he considers the possibilities behind a new Guardian coded distress beacon sounding off from the reef, especially given that it's rooted in an encoded loyalist signature used by Callus. Laments that the Vanguard can't immediately respond to every call for help, but fears Keitel is already on her way to this one and wants you to investigate it personally. Zavala says your ghost forwarded the signal into a hole when you found it, that the transmission itself has been tainted by some sort of darkness radiation. Urges you to be cautious and informs you that Osiris will command your mission. Best you don't investigate. Press signal. Broad. Investigate the distress signal. Yeah, 12:30. I think we'll be all right. We'll see. If it gets way too tough, I'll find a pickup. But anyway, Tuesday morning, text my boss like, "Hey, I still don't have power. I'm not sure when it's gonna get turned back on. I'll be online as soon as it does, though. So there's that." And she was like, "Hey, I get it. It's affecting a lot of people. Don't worry about it. Thanks for letting me know." And I had emailed everybody on my team that night, and even telling them, it's like, "Hey, I'm without power." And I normally don't keep my work email on my phone. It's just a personal thing. It's like when I'm on my phone, even though I can access almost any kind of information anywhere, I don't want to have to be stressed out or worried or worked up because of work stuff. Like when I'm trying to just have a nice dinner with Brett, or when I'm with the dogs at a park or something. Does not look good. Anyway, so what are good how back. Then we just scale something up.
Several months ago, a Cabal vessel bearing the name Glycon disappeared near the reef. This ship matches its description and heading. So far, our hails have gone unanswered, and the distress signal continues to loop. You're clear for live-fire engagements. Board it, and find our missing Guardian.
I do appreciate all the space vibes. Okay. Hey, there's my ship. Gain access. That kind of looks way to something. So yeah, I mean Tuesday. I mean Brett and I mean, unfortunately, like we still had water, we still had gas, but I mean, really? Well, if you ever see this, up, either up or down. These things kind of only go in like different directions. So you know what that looks like over yonder. Good enough lift? Cool. All right.
There's a
We're in.
distortion in the feed, no frequencies. Like ripples meeting in conversation. Executing trace. Stand by.
Okay, so okay. Ways. Hmm. Some definite like alien vibes. Which loving. Back down the orchards.
I've sourced a distortion. There's an open patch into the ship's computer. Perhaps courtesy of our lost friend.
So, yeah, I mean Tuesday. I don't know. We shower. We're kind of doing whatever we can to keep warm at that point. It occurs to me to start kind of dripping pipes. Um, and then, I mean, Brett's just like more and more miserable. I think at that point, like we're not really getting any answers from like city, like local or state government. All we're hearing about is like how shitty things are in Texas, and it's like, yeah, we know, we're living it, and like, I mean, you don't quite realize like everything in your life centering around power. Like, you want to make toast? Sorry, I can't do it. Your toaster plugs into a wall outlet, right? Like, oh, anything in the fridge? It's like, oh, anything keeping that food cold? Now it's gonna go bad, like within a couple hours, because that fridge isn't gonna keep things cold. You want to wash some clothes? Yeah, you can wash it by hand if you want, but yeah, forget about using a dishwasher. Or I mean, a washing machine or dryer. Sure as hell can't use a dishwasher. Can't watch TV, can't game, can't use any lights. I mean, yeah, you can use like kind of over the air signal for your cell phone, but also you're conscientious because hey, you're that's gonna drain your battery, and unless you have access to some kind of electrical, you can't actually. I think once that battery life's gone, it's gone. So I mean, fortunately, I had like a little goal zero charging thing. I wasn't able to find that anywhere. What I did realize it was like I had a charging block for like a weed eater. Used like a 40-volt battery, like 4 amps. So that the charging device that sits on top of that, kind of like slides on top of it. It has a option for like it has a USB port, and it's like, oh, like select USB charge. Like, so we use that to like charge our phones a couple of times. Alternatively, I would go out to one of the cars. I'd start it up, warm it up, try and get a lot of the snow and ice to defrost off of the car, move it around, just make sure it's drivable, just in case we did actually need to drive anywhere. It would run, and just the cold wouldn't zap the battery. So, but I would sit in the car and charge up the phone or Brett's Jewel Pods or whatever. So, I mean, that was kind of an emergency kind of thing. So, and really, it's like we're just using our phones to like look up news, but most of the time, try to stay off of it. To, basically, just to in case we need it for an emergency call or something. So, and I mean, even Brett's Kindle, she can't even like she finishes off a book on that, and then it's like, oh, can I charge it on the battery? It's like, yeah, sure. Like, charges that up, but then she's like, oh, I can't actually get any new books because I need our Wi-Fi to do that. She later kind of realized like, oh, she could actually buy it on her phone and then transfer it from her phone to the app, and then the app to like the book. But even then, she kind of needs like Wi-Fi for all. So yeah, I mean, kind of Tuesday evening ish, or maybe it was Wednesday. I mean, it's like also at that point in time, like kind of starting to realize like no one's gonna tell you anything. No one's going to let you know what the fuck is going on and when you're liable to get power back. You're just gonna keep getting strung along, and just every day kind of waiting it to be hopeful that at some point power's gonna come back. So I mean, I try to be proactive a lot more. What was it, like Tuesday? By like, kind of had read some of the stuff where it's like, hey, put all your clothes on the floor. I'd seen the thing about like, oh, like put blankets or towels or whatever you can, any kind of cloth thing over your windows. Because I'd even kind of noticed Monday night with our heater not running, but our bedroom right by a couple of windows, and even though it was kind of warm, like maybe 50, 60 degrees in our house, which is usually pretty cold even for me or Brett, like I could still feel a lot more cold coming in from like this where the window was coming. And it wasn't just like, oh, like it's just because Brett's to my like sleeping to one, like my left, and like I'm just like part of this. Like no, it's distinctly, you kind of can know when it's like where, like if you're outside, you don't question what direction the wind is blowing. Like if you are just standing there in a field, like, and I'm like, hey, where's the wind hitting you? It's like it doesn't matter where you or I are facing. We're both gonna say it's coming that direction. And that's kind of what it was like, feeling that cold. And I mean, that night it was down to like in the single digits, I think. And like we've got two small dogs who are not the best and not super fluffy or have a lot of fat on them. So, and they sleep on the ground, so it's even colder there. So I mean, so like Tuesday, I was really proactive with trying to like just hang up as like I went and scavenged all of our old blankets and pillows and shower curtains, like anything fluffy, anything fleece to try and like hang over windows just to kind of help insulate things. We hardly ever came upstairs at all, just because it was pointless and there was nothing to do up here since everything's powered by electronics. Um, and then unfortunately, like family, they had reached out and they were like, "Hey, listen, we're really worried about you guys. We would like you all to come stay with us." And part of me kind of like was like, like no, it's okay. Like I mean, we'll be all right. Like we've got enough food. Like even though we don't have electricity and it's been 2 days, like we've got food. We still have gas. We still have water. Like we can kind of run stuff enough to get us by. And but like I also knew like kind of checking the weather. It's like it's supposed to sleet that night. So the kind of clusterfuck of this whole situation was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like it's overcast, temperatures drop. It rains a little bit, like temperatures dip below freezing. Anything that was wet freezes real lightly. Basically just like a frost. Monday, everything snows overnight. It's cold all that day. Temperatures hardly get above freezing. The snow just sticks around. Like the sun comes out Monday during the day, it melts a little bit of the snow, not by much, and then that night that snow freezes. So like Tuesday, sun comes out, melts a little bit of the snow, like that night it sleets and rains. And the temperatures don't get above freezing. So you're basically just building these sandwiches and these stacks of like snow, like frozen top layer, like sleet or rain, and then like that layer freezes, and then so it's like even when you would step in the snow or on the frozen ground, it's like there's sheet on top of it, and then you kind of break through, and then it's like there's snow underneath, and then sometimes there's like even like slicker stuff. So that's kind of been the issue where it's like it being so cold here and why it's so like the response has been so shitty. It's like it's been hard for anybody to get anywhere because of all the snow dump all throughout Texas on Monday. Basically, it just caused roads to be impassable, where not like I had mentioned, infrastructure really just wasn't prepared for it. Even if you did like just strap a plow to a truck and start pushing snow off, like hey, that's fine, but guess what? As that stuff melts, it's just gonna freeze again, and now you've either got like black ice or just like a sheet of ice on the road, which is even more dangerous. Like, if you've driven in snow and you've driven over like a frozen surface, like you would kind of realize like, hey, driving through snow is a little bit easier than driving over something that's very slick and just like a frozen surface. So that's kind of been what has been going on. Tuesday, we were lucky enough to have family members reach out and say like, hey, we're really worried about you guys. We'd like you to come stay with us. We still have electricity. We don't have Wi-Fi, but got electricity. Like come stay with us. Like you'll be warm. I mean, Tuesday had also gotten to a point where it's like I would go outside and try and move around a lot to like keep my core temperature up, and also like by eating hot foods and drinking warm liquids. Brett was like bundled in like 4 layers of clothes and her jacket and a hat and earmuffs and gloves, and then would like wear all that and then get in bed, and then even in bed throw like 3 layers of blankets on top of her, and she still wasn't warm enough, or she was still feeling cold. I had like a thermal layer, like 1 or 2, like a light sweater, a slightly heavier sweater, and then if I did get to anything outside, it was like a heavy kind of winter coat. And usually that was enough to like keep me comfortable while I was outside. This was like more breaking up ice or trying to shovel snow off like our driveway, walkways. Like, I mean, I would get pretty warmed up just moving around that much, and And I took the heavy jacket off at some point, but man, but inside I was like, I was still a little cold, but I was like comfortable. But really, it's like I was comfortable when it was 40 degrees outside, like 40 degrees in our house, and I could start to see my breath inside. It was just really, it was really a shitty situation all in all. Luckily, like my family didn't give me much of a choice. They kind of were like, "Hey, we would like you to. If you refuse to, that's going to be one thing. But hey, we would really like you to come stay with us, like just until your power gets turned back on or until all this blows over." Um, and really, like I kind of, and I was like, "Well, let me talk to Brett about it. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think we'll be fine, but." Let me talk to her, like, because at that point, like, Brett is miserable. I know she's miserable. I don't want to keep subjecting her to, like, to be miserable and say, like, no, like, we're not going to accept my family's help. You need to just sit here and suffer and just deal with the cold because, like, we just got to do it, like, get through another day or two, blah. I'm not so much cheese mo to, like, put somebody else or, like, ask somebody to try and find some stupid level of glory in that amount of incredulous suffering. So, um, I mean, I sat there, I talked to her, she was like, it's totally up to you. What do you think is best? I was like, well, we got our pipes dripping. Like, I mean, and at night, like, we're lighting all these candles to, like, illuminate rooms just so we can, like, feed our dogs and maybe do some dishes, but like really trying not to like put too much of a strain on that kind of stuff just because it's, I mean, like we couldn't run a dishwasher, so what's the point? So um and even like when I woke up like Monday after lighting a bunch of candles, like I was blowing up like snot stuff. I was really kind of a little paranoid about, to be honest, about like even using our gas stove and our carbon monoxide detectors. So I mean, I did test those. um like just to make sure, because it's like we're trying to insulate the house so much that like I want to make sure it's like, oh, it's not just like we're rebreathing carbon dioxide in, which you breathe carbon monoxide in through like burnt gas, you breathe carbon dioxide in through what you expel through air. So and usually, like, I know it's kind of dumb, but it's like you want to at least still make sure you have like some airflow going on. So that's probably why I was like going in and outside a lot, just to get fresh air. Um, and but yeah, it's unfortunately like my brother-in-law came and got us. Like, he didn't quite give us a choice. Like, he just kind of left. Like, let my sister, or like my sister called, asked us to come stay with him. Like, I don't know. Let me think about it. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. Let you know. Talk to Brett. I realized like I'm not gonna put her through that kind of suffering. And it'd be really unfair to ask that of her. And she kind of like deferred to my judgment. And she was like, "Well, do you think it would be turned? Our power would be turned back on tomorrow, like on Wednesday?" And it's like based on all the evidence at hand that occurred from 2 a.m. on Monday night, the 15th, through now, like the into the evening of the 16th, it's like there's not enough evidence to reliably suggest that our power would be turned on Wednesday. And really, the reality is like we're gonna have to start waiting for snow to melt, for energy and maintenance companies to start responding. Even if power companies start flicking switches and turning people's power, like certain pockets of energy back on, it's like there's no real telling, like if, oh, just because they decide to flip a switch somewhere in Fort Worth, that your lights are going to come on in Austin. It's like you could have a tree that fell and knocked over a line that from the snow or the ice or the sleet or whatever. So Tuesday night it's supposed to sleet. So I let him know, like, hey, yeah, go ahead and come pick us up. Like, we'll start packing things up for like a day or two. Um, you know, like, and I try to put myself also in my family situation, where it's like if I was the one who had power and heat and still had running water without issue, But I knew that like, my family, who was a stone's throw away, like an hour away, didn't have power. I really feel comfortable with them, like knowing that they just have to kind of suffer in cold. Like, no, I wouldn't be okay with that. Like, and also it's like even if they refuse to come, like I would be stressed out and worried through the evening about them, and what like and if like that they were safe. Like, 'cause, like some of these my family members have kids, and they've got pets, and I'd worry that like their pets would freeze to death, or like their kids would get really sick, or like on top of them just being like just miserable without any heat. um like yeah, I it's like, hey, we've got the space, like we'll figure something out, we'll open air mattress, make some makeshift beds, whatever. um we'd rather y'all be safe and comfortable here than like miserable like over there. So thankfully like they came and got us, like um the roads really weren't too bad. Like part of why I know like the only reason some solace I had in like Texas is dumb um self gratification that they engage in is that they at least wanted to make sure major roadways were clear because of in like commerce. Like they wanted to still make sure that like the interstates were clear in a few major roadways, like kind of connecting other major towns, so that 18 wheelers could still be able to traverse through and get certain supply and maintain certain supply chains, or just like get to and from other cities. Like at least clear the interstates, like maybe some of the other major highways, neighborhoods. Screw you guys. Like other major like country roads, not really too worried about it. I mean, different counties might have responded differently and had more different resources at their disposal, but that was just kind of the vibe we got in Austin. It was like, the major highways were fine, at least like trying to clear and treat that stuff, but like a lot of the other stuff in between, yeah, not so much. Like it's kind of a crapshoot. So fortunately, like we were able to stay with some family and stay warm, and they let us bring our dogs. We got to hang out, and my niece and my mom and sister and brother-in-law, and it was a good time. And then I touched base with my boss earlier that day too, and I was like, hey, are a lot of or she was asking me to confirm my hours, and it was, yeah, like it's about this. Like I asked her if a lot of other people were like affected by the outages. She was like, we've only got about 15% of our workforce able to work. I mean, that was on Tuesday. I mean, so 85% of our colleagues were unable, of like the people who work in my building or in the buildings I work in through that whole site, like unable to actually log in. And it's like, and we've all, and a majority of all of us have all been work from home since the start of the pandemic anyway. But fuck, I was like, okay, even when you're work from home, like if you don't have electricity or Wi-Fi, it's like you're not working. Like, I mean, the thoughts I had about being in an information or IT age of technology, like it really just kind of blew my mind. Where it's like we can't even reliably have electricity. All right, let's see what happens. Activate this thing. I've rambled long enough. Okay, door. Hey, there's my ship again. Okay, where I came from. Another door. Something up there. Oh. Oh, turbines. Came through this door. Oh, okay. What is this? What is this?
Spores are harmonizing with the nearby concentration of darkness.
Don't say, oh god. Oh god. So the spores are harmonizing. Okay. So I like kind of shoot myself.
No light here.
I can run through this. Engoring link. Okay. Let's run back. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, if there's no light here, how does my ghost exist? I mean, that looks like some light on the other side of the harmonizing thing. Oh no. Oh. Wait, really? Okay, there's another spore. Okay.
The Glycon navigation system marks their destination as an anomaly, left in the wake of Mars's disappearance.
I'm not scared. You're scared. Um. This. I mean, this looks like we're later. Who knows? I need Miguel here to give me a pop talk, to be honest. Where's the Miguel? Him. I mean, if I was going to write the subtitles for this part of this mission, I would say ominous blinking. Okay. The, oh. Oh, there's some. What the fuck was that? Lay on the fucking ammo bricks popping out. Oh god.
Guardian, you're not the only life sign aboard. I see at least one other.
I mean,
Maybe our missing friend. It may not.
now counting the screebs? Anyway. Fortunately, like my family's internet, like they theirs came back on Wednesday, like kind of throughout the day, and I was able to like kind of log back into work finally, this like last night and this morning. So so that's death for sure. Okay. Why didn't they release this kind of shit with the fucking? I like. Well, okay. They could have easily released this, to be honest, with what is it? I still have this. the haunted forest. Like I'm like this would be a great haunted forest vibe. And then like oh, it's like if you use the ascendant lens for something, maybe that was like what you were supposed to actually like use like in this place somehow or to see like this derelict ship or whatever. Um okay. Oh god. Oh god. So wait, I need to do one of those orb things, right? Be able to traverse that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, because I activated this guy. Uh, yeah, and to be honest, it's already close to 11. I don't know. Um, I don't know if I'm actually gonna try and do the Oh, oh no, oh no. Um. Nope. Okay. Whatever. Screeb explosion. Frozen. So, um, so yeah, we kind of abandoned our house like Tuesday night, Wednesday ish. Um, I felt really bad because our neighbors kind of behind us who have a bunch of dogs, they texted me and I'd given them our number a while back for something. And they were like, "You're a scary boy." And they had texted me and basically said like, "Hey, hope you're okay. Um, my phone's on like 19%. Do you mind if I don't have a car adapter at all?" The fuck is this? Like oh, it's one of the like. Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
I found a journal of Callus's scribe, Momsat. Translation as follows. Today, Callus graced the Glykon with his presence and gazed upon the anomaly. His counselors prepare the exhibition chamber with gold from the Castellum. They are confident the crown is ready. end will lay eyes upon him and weep at his magnificence.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's kind of a cool thing. It's like, oh, if you're trying to sneak past all those screeps without getting it. Okay, so that opened. That's. Now we're over here. It looks like that's going to be forward at some point. Go from here. Cross. Activate that. Does that open? There. Does not open. That doesn't. What opens? Oh, that. There. Oh, I mean, what's the point of that? Hmm. Maybe back the way I came. There's a door on the bottom and a door underneath. Did that open? Yes, it did. Oh, okay. So shoot that thing. Change anything here? It does. That. Okay. And down into the creepy pit we go. Okay, I have seen a couple little weird screenshots of like that people are like, "Oh, this is like the trash compactor from Star Wars and shit." So, um or it was like telemission in like 4 images or something like that. And oh, that's fine. Okay. Stop. Sir. Sir. Nope. Oof. Okay. And there I go. Okay. So shoot screebs. Trash compactor tunnel. Yeah, because like the floor in the middle opens up gradually. Once it does, and I should probably like switch to like a. That guy, whatever it is. Okay, cool. Okay, that wasn't so hard.
This
That's
ship's
clever.
passageway is no
I like
longer
that.
connect as they should. Movement. In the dark.
Okay. Not too bad.
We must not. Forward. Guardian, I've pieced together another of Armstad's records. It reads, Tragedy of Silence. He tore the wilting failures apart himself. The connection is strong, but the darkness does not speak through them. An ocean without wind. Even the Lightbearer could not cause it to awaken.
Hmm. Hmm. Up and scrapes up. Yep. Okay. I need something that fires a little bit snappier. Okay. Oh no, fuck me. God damn it. Better, 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 better. I'm trying to imagine what the master version of this would kind of entail. Actually, you know what? Base is friend, and I'm gonna go mostly G5 ability. Excuse me. Blackout is really probably one of the most appropriate modifiers for this, to be honest. Oh no. Okay, is that it? No, there's still dudes shooting at nothing. Okay,
Hangar
cool.
systems are intact. Why didn't they try to run?
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? This is actually the ship from Season of Opulence. Cool. Nice touch. I like that. I bet I go. Nothing really around here. I mean, there's space. Spooky. Hey, Karma buddy. Yeah, they do get annoying. Oh. It does. It reminds me a lot of Dead Space a little bit. Like not so much on the jump scares, but like the creepy, eerie vibe. I mean, really good narrative storytelling. Yeah, it's that good. Remember, when you did this, did you watch a guide at all, or did you just kind of go in fresh? Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I do love me my Jade Rabbit, but I'm kind of I'm real curious to see how the Dead Man's Tale performs. I mean, it hasn't gotten the best reviews in PvP just yet, so I'm still kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'll stick with Night Watch or E or something. But okay, operating on a Scorn. Okay, Bubble. Man, can you give me a hint of like how much farther I have to go to the last boss? I'm pretty exhausted. It's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a few days in Texas, so um I was kind of hoping to just do this real quick and then try and go farm the new Titan exotic in the Lost sector, but I don't think I have it in me to keep going after I finish this. So I'm not halfway through yet. Oh god damn it. Okay. Um Son of a bitch. I mean, all the encounters just because of the puzzle. Oh. I mean, they haven't been too super difficult. Like, or it's like I'll fumble a little bit, but then like okay, it's like the trash compactor thing um was a fun change. Um, yeah, I should have gotten an earlier start on this then. Okay. Yeah, I know, I know. Door that opens up the thing. Yep, there we go. No, I actually just got my power back today. Like I didn't have. I mean, we lost power Monday night at like 2 a.m. and came back what today at around 4 a.m. So, and we didn't lose gas or water like other people though. So, and people have it really rough here. Like some friends of mine, they've lost power and they don't have water either. But they lost water yesterday. So. Good on water. Like our, I mean, there's some fear, and rightfully so, that like a lot of places are on a boil water notice. We had been doing that as a precaution since Tuesday, since Monday or Tuesday. So we've got a lot of good drinking water, and then we're like kind of we're using snow, I guess, for like potable water for the time being. But I mean, it's. I mean, if we need to, like, we still have water from like the main tap, so. But we're kind of bracing ourselves just in case, because a lot of treatment plants are saying how they're gonna run out or start cutting off people's water, so that there's not a. Nope. Okay. Oh, so you're not supposed to go down there. Nope. Okay. There's no way to safely on it. Okay. Just needed to test it. Done. I'm done. Yeah, we're fine now. Like, luckily, like we got kind of rescued by family earlier, or like Tuesday. They let us come kind of hang out with them, and they had heat and water, and like, I mean, I wasn't about to put Brett through the more suffering. I mean, it was so cold in our house, you could see your breath. It was getting real. No, oh, damn. Yeah. Yeah, we looked into trying to get into a hotel like after one day, but yeah, we lost power Monday and then Tuesday Brett started calling around looking for to see how. But everywhere was basically booked, and it was a lot of people where it was more for like a lot of the people that were staying at the hotels were like elderly or like people with kids and stuff like that. So we didn't want to try and like put any of them out. Oh yeah, Fucking Cancun, yeah. I mean, it's so sad how some Texans got to travel 2,700 miles just to find fresh water and heat. Hmm. Back. New door open. Okay. Thank you, Karma. Appreciate that. That was the one I before. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, now that we got
Bombsite kept notes on
energy
experiments
back, I mean, we're a little concerned we might lose water next, so
anomaly all suffered contiguous neuron death.
sucks.
It consumed their minds. All but one who spoke with many dead voices. This survivor would become the centerpiece of their studies.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they start doing something for like the Witch Queen, like because they've been seeming to lean a little bit more into like the splash stuff, and their splash kind of weird mechanic things. So, I mean, I could see it if they like can weave it into a theme of like the necrotic kind of grip stuff or like thorn, like something between like splash and remnants. Nope, nope. Ah. Oh, now they're talking. Oh, okay. Weird pipe. Obvious pipe is not so obvious. Okay, there we go. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Miss you. Huh. Ghost there. Oh, fuck me.
Put this decrepit creature to rest.
Hmm. Flush 2 initiate. Okay. Yeah, man. Let's definitely do some trials this weekend if you're around. Um, I did end up getting the messenger a couple of rolls, but I wasn't super happy with it. But yeah, I'm definitely down to like give trials another go. It was actually pretty easy since it's so early on in this season. Like everyone's like not super like high level, so it can be you can get some decently balanced matches. No, fuck me. I was trying to get out of there.
Put this decrepit creature to rest.
Oof, that fire. Oh, fuck me. God damn it. Okay. I really can't.
Put this decrepit.
Fucking cunt. I guess I need to stop going down that first metal.
Put this decrepit creature to rest.
Oh, god damn it. What the fuck is that?
Put this decrepit creature.
Okay, you know what? I am giving up. I will do this later with the fire team. We got a feel for it. I'm sure I killed a Locust of Communion. This will be a little bit easier with 3 people. I mean... The only real benefit of like doing this solo is you get a really badass emblem or something, but really it's like even then it's like you don't get it until you do the master version. So which like you even see. I mean, to be honest, like I'm tired. I'm really pretty exhausted. This bullshit of like no power and stuff, and I still gotta work tomorrow. Fine. I mean, I'll be back around this weekend, but I mean, shit, yeah. We'll just rock this some other time. So, all right, appreciate everybody tuning in, whether it's live or if you're watching this later on. Thank you. Have a blessed day.